Let's speak to Simon Marks, who joins us now live from Washington, D.C. And McMaster very much put on the spot there by reporters, Simon. He continued to say that Mr. Trump's conversation with Russian officials was wholly appropriate. That was a phrase he kept using again and again, refused to say whether that included classified information.
Yes, wholly appropriate, Shuli, is definitely the phrase that pays from that particular news briefing by H.R. McMaster, America's national security advisor. You could hear at points of that briefing he was absolutely channeling his inner Donald Trump. The President of the United States has on numerous occasions asserted that the real problem in the White House is leaks of classified information to the press, even though on this particular occasion the story is all about the President of the United States leaking highly classified information to the Russians. General McMaster insisted that what President Trump had done in the Oval Office during that meeting with the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and the Russian Ambassador to the United States Sergei Kislyak was appropriate, and that the real problem here is that the leaks have found their way into the press. He stood entirely by the statement that he made last night here in Washington, D.C., repeating the central thrust of that statement, that President Trump did not at any point prejudice intelligence sources or methods. However, it's important to underscore that the Washington Post story that began this entire episode never made the claim that President Trump had done that. So H.R. McMaster there once again engaged in a non-denial denial, and at the end of the news conference he left reporters with an absolutely tantalizing piece of information, and you could hear the hubbub in the room as he stepped away from the podium, namely that the President of the United States didn't even know where the information had come from. In other words, what he appeared to be saying at the end of that briefing was that President Trump was unaware that he might be causing embarrassment and concern to one of America's intelligence-sharing partners by passing on information that they had provided to the United States without permission. President Trump, according to H.R. McMaster, didn't even know where the information had come from, and so the logical extension of that would be that the White House position now is, how could he therefore have known that he was passing on information he had no permission to pass on? All of this happening against a backdrop of criticism from Capitol Hill. The Democrats are now demanding transcripts, Republican senators deeply concerned.